Vaughn Boatner is considered armed and dangerous. A suspect Hayward police say shot and killed Monique Aldridge last Thursday at the home she shared with her boyfriend.
This is the story of 29-year-old Monique Aldridge, a fitness trainer who was shot to death by her ex-husband and father of her 5-year-old child, Vaughn Boatner, age 33, while in a home with her new boyfriend.
Police Chief Brian Matthews says the victim from Oakland is currently at a hospital in critical but stable condition.
Mr. Boatner and our homicide victim, Monique Aldridge, were previously in a relationship with each other, and the 5-year-old child located at the home at the time of the shooting was their son.
Monique had moved on with her life and had found a new partner, but her ex-husband, who would not let that happen, tracked her while she was with her new boyfriend, then shot her 7 times in the head and then the boyfriend before fleeing the state, prompting the U.S. Marshal to start a nationwide manhunt. Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories.
Hayward police are now looking for a man accused of killing his former wife. This happened less than a week ago at her home in Hayward. Investigators say their suspect is armed and dangerous.
This story will be taking us to Hayward, California. Hayward is a city located in the East Bay subregion of the San Francisco Bay Area with a population of 162,954. Hayward is the 6th largest city in the San Francisco Bay Area and the 3rd largest in Alameda County. Hayward has a beautiful shoreline, but not in the way that makes a great beach. This is more of a place to take a stroll through the wetlands. Monique Aldridge, a beautiful young woman, was someone who changed into a loving and formidable person who had a love and ardor for wholesome living, leading her to a profession in healthcare and beginning her very personal private training business.
Hello, I'm Monique. I am the founder of Regarding the Gains. Fitness has been a passion of mine for the past 5 years, and personal training is my purpose. And I'm so excited to share what I've learned throughout my journey with you all. So feel free to holler at me and let's go.
She worked out a lot, developed herself mentally and physically. She graduated from University of California in Davis with a degree in biology after finishing high school when she was only 16. At the time of this incident, she worked in healthcare. Most importantly, she became a mother to a 5-year-old boy, which was the highlight of her life. She was looking forward to having another one before things went south. Monique, who was married to Vaughn Boatner but divorced few years ago, was a hard-working wife who any man could have asked for. Her son changed her world. She became excited about having her second baby, but her husband was not on the same page with her. He wasn't goal-driven as she was. After they had their kid, she tried to make him serious about life, but he wouldn't step up his game, so she decided to move on with her life. Monique met someone named Jacques Field, who they fell in love and started a new family together. They lived together somewhere in the Oakland area of California. She was happy with her new boyfriend and was beginning to see herself as a great mother and a great partner, not knowing things were about to spiral downwards along with her unborn child. The ones close to her ought to have in no way imagined the chain of activities that would quickly take place. Sometimes around 2 p.m. on this fateful day, Hayward police had been called to a home at the 1 centesimal block of Cassia Power. Upon arrival, they located a grown-up male and a pregnant woman, both stricken by gunshot wounds. The victims were later said to be pregnant Monique Aldridge and her boyfriend. Monique had been shot 7 times in the head while her boyfriend was shot in the stomach. She was taken to a nearby medical hospital where she unfortunately died after being shot 7 times in the head.
It is believed both shooting victims were in a dating relationship and lived together at the time of this incident.
He remained in critical condition in the hospital but would later survive the ordeal. All this gruesome shooting were said to have happened in the presence of her 5-year-old son.
Hayward police are now looking for a man accused of killing his former wife. This happened less than a week ago at her home in Hayward. Investigators say their suspect is armed and dangerous. KTVU's Amber Lee spoke with the victim's family live tonight there in the city of Hayward with the new information. Amber?
Mike, the Hayward Police Department says it is working with other law enforcement agencies, including the U.S. Marshals, to locate and arrest the suspect. The victim's family tells me they are in shock over what happened.
The senseless thing happened can shatter a family.
Lorenzo Smith is mourning the loss of his niece, Monique Aldridge of Hayward. Her family is struggling with her sudden death, the victim of gun violence.
It's been a very, very difficult time for us, quite naturally. A lot of us are still pretty much trying to cope with it in some state of shock, for the most part.
Shock over what happened last Thursday afternoon around 2 o'clock. Hayward police are now looking for Aldridge's ex-husband, Vaughn Boatner of San Mateo. Investigators say he went to Aldridge's home in Hayward, where she lived with her boyfriend, and shot both of them. Family members say Aldridge died of her injuries at the hospital, and her boyfriend is in critical condition. Police say the 5-year-old son Aldridge and the suspect shared was at home at the time of the shooting, but relatives say the child did not witness what happened.
Mr. Boatner fled his residence just prior to the service of a search warrant on May 11th, and he remains at large. He should be considered armed and dangerous.
Aldridge's family says they were not aware of any trouble between the former couple and did not witness any previous violence. They tell me the two shared custody of their son.
We're going to have to have a sit down with him and explain to him the circumstances and then also provide some counseling.
Aldridge's parents and younger sister, joined by relatives, have come together to comfort each other and share memories. They say the 29-year-old was smart. Mom tells me Aldridge graduated from UC Davis with a major in biology after finishing high school when she was only 16. At the time of her death, she worked in healthcare. She was into healthy living and had her own personal training business, but her world centered around her son. Her family tells me the couple has been divorced for a few years.
It's going to be a long, hard road for us, quite naturally. We're still trying to process it.
Investigators say when the shooting happened, the woman's 5-year-old son was also at the scene, and police say they believe the shooter is the boy's father, and the other victim was in a relationship with the deceased woman.
Unfortunately, her father, who was the shooter, didn't care if the young boy saw his mother being shot in his presence.
Chief Matthews says the boy was not harmed and is safe with family shortly after several neighbors reported gunshots that deadly afternoon.
After police learned that Vaughn Boatner was the person who committed the crimes, they descended on his house but could not locate him. Officers then learned that Boatner may have left the state.
Investigators attempted to serve a search warrant at Boatner's home in San Mateo, but he was already gone.
This was not a random act of violence, that these folks had a previous relationship and knew each other.
Monique's family said they were not aware of any trouble between the former couple and did not witness any previous violence. They said the two shared custody of their son. So it was really a shock when they learned what he had done. Her family confirmed the couple had been divorced for a few years. The U.S. Marshals announced that they are offering a $10,000 reward to anyone who provides information that leads to the arrest of Vaughn.
There is a warrant out for Boatner's arrest. The U.S. Marshals Service is involved in the investigation and is offering a $10,000 reward for information that leads to his arrest and conviction.
After a while on the run, Vaughn Boatner was arrested in a residential neighborhood in Seattle with the help of Seattle police and members of the Kings County Sheriff's Office.
His ex-wife in Hayward has been taken into custody. Hayward police say U.S. Marshals took Vaughn Boatner into custody in Seattle yesterday afternoon. Investigators say they believe he shot his ex-wife, Monique Aldridge, in Hayward earlier this month, as well as her boyfriend. The former couple's 5-year-old son was also at the scene of the crime, but was unharmed.
He was booked on suspicion of homicide, attempted homicide, child endangerment, and being a felon in possession of a firearm, and is being held without bail. Vaughn Boatner was currently awaiting extradition from Washington state after he fled to the Northwest following the May 11th shooting of 30-year-old Monique Aldridge and her new boyfriend Jacques Fields inside their home. As of today, Vaughn has been transferred to the Bay Area, where he was booked into Santa Rita Jail in Dublin on a no-bail murder warrant. His first court appearance has not yet been set. He is charged with murder, attempted murder, child abuse, and gun enhancements.
I have authorized a gun enhancement and the extradition from Washington state to California of defendant Vaughn Boatner.
Vaughn faces 50 years to life for murder and 32 years to life for attempted murder. Vaughn has prior convictions of gun possession and cocaine possession. He also had a pending case for robbery.
Mr. Boatner has prior convictions for gun possession, possession of cocaine for sale. He had a pending robbery case at the time of these murders.
Her family is struggling with her unexpected demise. We hope Monique Aldridge gets the justice she deserves soon. Our sincere condolences to the friends and families of Monique Aldridge. May Monique's memory be a blessing for her family and for all who knew her, and may her life and death be an inspiration and a turning point towards justice and increased protection for domestic abuse survivors. Please stay safe out there and see you guys in the next video.